Happy Sunday. Nothing like a hot cup of tea. Hey everybody. Welcome to Sunday Elevenses Live. Oh wow, it's me, it's Jez Rose, it's live, which means anything could happen, and it already has. I decided it would be a very sensible idea. In fact, I'm not entirely sure that any kind of sense or sensibility came into it, but I decided at the very last minute, I know, why don't I just move all of the equipment from there where it all normally is and move it to completely somewhere else, like a different angle. That'd be nice for everybody to share a different angle. Didn't think about the fact I'd have to change all of the lighting, that the things unplugged and then they change, that we're 30 seconds behind. I can't see your comments because they're over there, so I thought I'd put my phone. It is a nightmare. If you ever do this, absolutely don't change something at the last minute thinking it'll all be fine. Hello, everybody. Hey Carol, hey Kath, hey Donna, lovely to see you. Oh, I mean, honestly, you know when you're really rushed for something and you think you're going to be late and you're like chucking your coat on and you're like that down the motorway and you're never like that, like sensibly, oh yes, look, mirror, indicate, maneuver, when you're doing all of that and you know you've got like half a sock on and you think I'll do it when I get there, and you're brushing your hair as you're running up the street. And actually you get there just on time. That's how I feel like this morning. Oh, and then I'd forgotten my tea. It's like a group therapy session. Anyway, lovely, lovely, lovely. Hey Mark, lovely to see you. So listen, I've decided I'm going to start experimenting a little bit more with tea. And I'm not enjoying it so far. So let's just put that out there. Stick to what you know. This is Earl Grey. But with, it's just that, that's going to hurt, isn't it? I know, I don't really want to get ink in my tea, so I'll put lead in it. This is just a tea bag. It's an Earl Grey tea bag, just floating around in there with nothing much to do in its life. It's a metaphor for us all, isn't it, on a Sunday? Should we just spend a couple of minutes looking at this? But there's no lemon, there's no milk, there's no sugar. It's just black Earl Grey tea, which apparently is really lovely. I'd like to speak to those people who tell me it's really lovely. I have several questions. So I've just been doing things like that recently. You know, what different tea could I, experiment with? How maybe I should try it without milk, with sugar, all that kind of jazz. So anyway, it's lovely to see you all. Happy Sunday. What are you up to? What are you doing today? Woody and I have been out. This is probably why I'm a bit like this. Woody and I have been out this morning really early on a little adventure walk to the park. It's about 20 minutes drive from here, but it's where his girlfriend lives. Woody's got a little girlfriend. And but she's not there because she's on heat, so, that doesn't work. Nobody wants extra puppies. Hey, Kath, we've missed you as well. Kath says it feels like it's been ages since she's been at Sunday Elevenses. I know. I have a little notebook. I write down all the absentees. And unauthorised absences do get marked against you. There's a leaderboard. Do you like this kind of tea? Donna says she likes that. What, just black with a tea bag in it? I mean, I love oh my gosh, I've just realised. So, I love the smell of fruit teas and herbal teas, or as my American friends call them, herbal teas. And I love an herbal tea being brewed, right, in the background, because you think, oh, strawberries, and oh, just have my face kissed by cinnamon, or ooh, lemons, right? But then when you taste it, it's like the biggest anticlimax, the biggest disappointment I've ever had. I've had some disappointments, and I've dated some disappointments, but it's terrible. It's like it's the biggest. I think herbal teas are the biggest. Stop it. Herbal teas are the biggest sense of false advertising we've ever got. Now, what I'm finding is that this is sort of nudging a little bit towards that. This sort of, I mean, it's taking meek to an absolute nth degree. So I'm just wondering if, it needs perking up, needs a little spice with probably just milk would be nice. So anyway, pelargonium tea. Ooh, I've never tried that. That sounds interesting. Stephen's got me onto an idea. Why don't we put more plants in boiled water and sell them for obscene prices? Mark's going to the cinema later. What are you seeing? You can't just put into the chat that you're going to the cinema later. We need a little bit more information than that. And are you going on your own, or are you going to, you know, spend some time with someone else or something? Ooh. There, Carol's got car insurance, yawn, but then she's sowing seeds. And I love how you're doing it in that way, because that's absolutely the only way that boring things should be done like that. Oh, by the way, I have to tell you about Sofagate. Don't let me forget. I'm going to write it down, because I absolutely will forget all about Sofagate. Talking of car insurance and boring stuff. Kath says, fruit teas smell lovely, but taste like twigs. Kath, I've got a couple of questions, namely, what are we doing sucking on twigs? You know, if any of you ever need to chat, if life feels a bit rubbish and you're reaching for twigs, you can just slide into my DMs. I'll happily share my email address. We can chat. Okay, we don't need to be eating twigs, babe. All right. There's lots of you sowing seeds. This is lovely. Ooh. Now, lemon and ginger is a little different if you use fresh lemon and fresh ginger, right? That's what I'm finding at the minute, is if you use the fresh stuff, you're absolutely cool. Mark is a cocaine bear. Never on Sunday Elevenses have I had, my brain is doing an awful of, ooh, is there a film called Cocaine Bear? Is that what it is? Because I think all of us are going to be looking through this and needing a few more explanations. Oh, yes, Stephen. Yes, send me different scented pelargoniums. Slide into my DMs and I'll give you our address. I didn't know this. This is amazing. Okay, there's an old wives' tale about pelargoniums. I am going to look it up and we'll do a video about whether pelargoniums actually lower blood pressure and are good for your stress. That sounds brilliant. Anyway. Oh, Mark's going to see something called Cocaine Bear. I got you. All right. I don't know it. I don't really go out. So let me tell you about. So Woody's got his girlfriend. She's in heat, so didn't get to see. So we went out and played with other doggies, and it was really lovely because some of them didn't want to play with Woody. He's an 8-month-old, slightly annoying Labrador. So you know he's all, hey, I'm Woody and I want to play. And they're like, okay, dude, why don't you just back off? Because you know we've got our own group here, and if you want to come in, you just need to be a little bit more calmer and maybe get off my face, stop pulling my ear, get your throat away from my neck, all of that kind of stuff, right? Super cute. But it's part of some training because I was cleaning the other day. Let me tell you about decorating dust. Oh my gosh. What is it with decorating dust? You can't, like, you just sand a tiny bit, like you fill a hole, sand a little bit, look around, and it looks like Alaska. It is everywhere. I walked into my office and I was like, what is that on my desk? I've got quite a big desk and literally the whole thing covered, not a single, I picked something up and there was a perfect circle of where the thing was, just absolutely horrific. So I've been a little bit busy and not been able to be here. I've been filming videos and filming some telly stuff and been traveling and speaking at conferences, and I just wanted some of the house finished. So we had someone in to help out with, you know, painting and decorating and finishing some bits off, and oh, the dust. Oh man alive. Oh, it makes me want to never ever paint anything or ever do anything ever again. Anyway, so I'm cleaning and I find this. This is Training the Disaster Search Dog. This was Marley's training book because Marley was a search and rescue dog. He never did any of it formally, but we did search and rescue training to keep him sort of focused, and because he couldn't play with other dogs, this was a great thing for him to, you know, to stimulate him and to do. So this is stage 2 of Woody's training. Is now that all of his basic training's done, we're going to start doing search and rescue training with Woody because he's so intelligent. He's a really sharp mind, and also at that kind of 8-month-old phase when it's like someone just flicks a switch and suddenly they become adolescent, you need to redirect their behavior, otherwise you just spend the entire time punishing them and they just end up in the can the whole time, right? Because you're just, everything pretty much they do is wrong unless they're sleeping. You know, they're biting, they're pulling, they're not doing what they're told, they're running off, they're just a dog. It's absolutely normal. So that's a great time to double down on exciting, fun training that you're both going to enjoy. So this is what he's going to do. So I'm looking for volunteers to get lost for me. Because we're just going to get rid of the disaster bit and do training the search dog because, you know, positive vibes and all that jazz. So if anybody would like to help out coming for a walk with Woody, all you've got to do is bring some very warm clothes and run off and hide in some bracken somewhere, and Woody will come find you, bark at you 5 times, sit next to you, and then you can have a play with him. It's really good fun. Anyway. Ooh, 2 seconds. onto the chat. Kath says you've got some seeds from the Heritage Seeds Library. That Heritage Seed Library thing is just brilliant. And she's excited to start them off. Talking of excited and seeds and Heritage Seed Library, Kathy Slack, so I was thinking of something else, I do know her name. Kathy Slack and I, tomorrow, Monday, at 6 p.m. are on Instagram Live. And we're doing an Instagram Live to make a massive epic announcement of one of the biggest projects I think I've done so far, probably. And I am super excited. Now, are you going to know before then? Here, I'll tell you. Right, I'll let you into a little secret, because it's us, right? Sunday Elevenses is kind of like a special deal. So, we are launching series 5 of Roots, Wings and Other Things as a show. So the Roots, Wings and Other Things show, there'll still be a podcast. If you like to listen to it, the audio will be stripped out and you can still listen to it, that's fine. But it's been filmed and professionally evidenced. What is that all about? It's a serious thing. Professionally edited into a show, like a chat show with Kathy and I. It's nice and short and punchy, about 20 minutes every single week from, I think, next week. Or this week, yes, so from Wednesday, first episode goes live all the way through the summer, right to the end of the year, end of the season. And we have got some special guests and we've got some interesting stuff. And we have got an epic competition. We've sourced over 100 quid's worth of goodies to go into this bag. And we're giving 6 away throughout the series, 2 at a time. It's going to be amazing. So if you're around 6 p.m. tomorrow, Instagram Live, check it out. I'll upload it onto YouTube and all the rest of it if you're not around to see it as well. But I am very excited. Mark says he's got no sense of direction. He can get lost very easily. You are a perfect candidate for our training. Absolutely perfect. Maybe not for the beginning bit when Woody's still training, because it might be a couple of weeks till we find you. But when he's a little bit more trained, then absolutely that's the time. Very good. Marley was a legend, Donna. He absolutely was, and we miss him absolutely terribly. Have you tried man training? Similar skills. Have I tried man training? Secretly, I think everybody who's ever been in a relationship with me has always been a little bit of a project, because that's the behaviourist in me. But yes, anyway, there you go. So. Let me talk to you about houseplants, gang. I'm just going to park that for a second over there because we have had a houseplant disaster this week. I decided the houseplants have been neglected a little bit, and it gets to around about March time and houseplants will start to grow, just like outdoor plants. They sense that the temperature is warming as well, and so activates the growing enzymes, so they begin to grow and develop and whatever. And I do feed them throughout the winter as well. I feed them an organic seaweed extract about once a month, sometimes twice a month, depends on the plant. But we've got this absolutely stunning bird of paradise, and it's our favourite plant by far. And it's got mealybug. The bloody mealybug is back. And that plant wasn't when I was staying at my mum's and I had all of the plants in her spare room. You might remember that from a while ago. That plant didn't exist then. That's a new plant. So I'm really gutted about that. So it means that obviously mealybug never went away. So I've gone out and got rid of as much as I can. I've decided that I'm going to pot up some of the smaller plants like the alocasia. So I saw at my best friend's house, she had this epic, massive alocasia. I've never seen the Zabrina, the one with the stripy stem. And it's like, I think it's sometimes called an arrowhead plant, although there's kind of a debate there because some people call, I can't get pelargoniums out of my head now, the other one, oh man, that's terrible, isn't it, when you forget plant names? Anyway, there's another super popular house plant that is also referred to as arrowhead, but alocasia, right? And I figured that the mealybug, because they feed on new shoots, so if I put it in a bigger pot, it won't be under quite as much stress because if it's ready to, and it will go through a big rapid growth sequence, and I can get rid of the mealybug, and hopefully the plant will be stronger and therefore in a better state to combat the mealybug. But it does mean I'm absolutely buying the ladybirds again. So you have to wait. The challenging thing about the whole ladybird thing is because they're a species from Australia, they thrive, they're only really active in warmer temperatures, ideally minimum of 20, but 15 is okay too. They'll be relatively active at 15 degrees. Well, I mean, here is hard, isn't it? You know, this time of the year, you'd have to have the heating on all the time in order to make them work. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. It is lovely. I like the bergamot. It's getting a little bit too for my liking. I don't have a thing. I need a thing. Yeah, I do like the whole... This is a brew tea one, so it's got big chunks of bergamot, I think that is in there. Big chunks of lemon or orange, I think, in there as well. And obviously lovely loose tea as well. And it has got a very nice sort of flavour to it. And just, you know, if you know what you like, what's the... I mean, it's nice, I suppose, to broaden your horizons sometimes, but I think I found absolutely fundamentally what I don't like, and that's black tea. Anyway, so I'm gonna buy the ladybirds again to try and knock this mealybug thing back. And I've also gone round and I've been pretty ruthless, gang. Let me tell you, pretty ruthless for somebody who loves houseplants. I've stripped off loads of the ones that aren't doing very well. I'm going to repot them. I'm going to throw some out. Yes. And I might find some gaps for some new ones. So I think what I might do is do a special little video of a trip up to Bath to go to my absolute favourite plant shop in the world. And sadly, they don't post. So you have to travel all the way up there. So maybe you can come along with me and we'll do a little surprise tip. Kath says, once the warm weather comes, you could put the bird of paradise outside. Absolutely. I'm always a little worried about stuff like that. Unless you've got a really nice sheltered space, I just worry, because the challenge is that you can pick mealybug up from outside. In fact, sometimes it's not a good idea to put them outside because you can, you know, it attracts mealybug. But also I just worry about, you know, birds and the wind, and I'm very precious about my plants. Anyway, listen, gang, I have to tell you, I have made a purchase this week that is controversial. It arrived yesterday. I can't believe I'm sharing it. It is extremely controversial, but you have to promise me that when I show you what I bought, you don't disown me, okay? You don't be nasty to me, just be friendly. We can all have our own different things, can't we? But I do warn you now, it is controversial. It's not like a, I don't know, sex outfit for a squirrel. It's not that controversial. It's not, I don't know, a blow up doll of, I don't know, Jeremy Vine or something. It's not, I don't know where that came from. I meant Simon Cowell. They're not even the same, not even remotely. So, here it is. I bought this. Now, I bought it for work. There's a particular reason I bought it. And when it arrived, I can't quite believe that I bought it, because it's had so much controversy, hasn't it? And I wonder if anybody's read it. I flicked open to a little bit and thought, gosh, I don't think this has been written by him. It feels like it's been written by somebody else. But I would like to know if you have read it, because I don't know whether to, now that I've got it, once I've done the thing that I'm doing for work, I might. It's not the book I would buy normally. I'm a huge autobiography fan and biography fan, but I don't know. It just feels like a media circus around this. I'm a huge fan of his and Meghan's, big supporters. Also, equally, quite like the royal family, but I don't like what it's become. And I feel like buying this is sort of like, I feel like I'm a part of it now. It's almost like somebody that asked too many questions at a family fallout, and you sort of feel a little bit implicated in the whole thing now and wish you'd never asked. So, yeah, all like that. It's just popping out the top. So if you've read it, let me know what I'm in for. Should I carry on with it and read it, or should I not? Because, you know, I don't know. You know, what do you think? Mark says he's got an amaryllis bulb. He got his mum in the late 80s, and it's just about to flower again. How lovely. I love the whole thing about amaryllis. They're a bit of a nightmare, though, aren't they? A bit of a letdown. Carol, we're going to have to come back to this man training thing. I'm very interested in this. Who thinks of a sex outfit for a squirrel? I don't know. It was just the first thing that came to my mind. So what do we think about this? Stephen says, I would have preferred you bought the squirrel outfit. I don't even know where you would get that from. Etsy. They'll make anything on Etsy. So anyway, that's that. And I'm a little bit sad that I bought it and I feel like I'm a part of it. Although having said that, you know what? I watched the Netflix documentary. What I was a little sad about was that, good boy, you're going to settle down there? Good boy, you can come and make an appearance in a minute. Oh, he's got very sleepy eyes. When I watched the Netflix documentary, there was somebody I know who refused to watch it. They said, I'm not watching it, and has a really strong opinion about, a negative opinion about Harry and Meghan. And I said, well, look, you don't know them, do you? All you're being fed is newspaper and media propaganda. All we're ever fed, unless we ask more questions, is newspaper media propaganda. So how would you can't have an opinion about them? You literally, you're not entitled to an opinion about somebody or something if you don't know anything about it, if you haven't got any facts. That's nonsense. That's just gossip. You're as bad as everybody else. And I watched the Netflix documentary, obviously, understanding that it was a one-sided documentary. It wasn't a neutral investigation. And I thought they came out brilliantly. And I can, I put myself in their situation and thought, how would I feel? If I was sort of felt disconnected from my family in some way or disowned and I've, huge sympathy for them actually. There's been a little flurry of comments. What's this now? The less oxygen the whole thing gets, the better. I think you're right, Kath. And actually, it's a family affair, right? I can sort of understand why he felt the need to do the documentary. I think the timing of this was tragic because after the whole Netflix thing was such a big shock, it was like, and bang, here's a book with a load more negative stuff in it. So, yeah. Stephen says, I think you should stop reading it and watch the episode of South Park on them. All right, fine. The other half reacts like that to H&M. Harry and Meghan. I'm so sorry. Donna, I thought you meant the clothing brand. I was like, why has he got such a big deal about H&M? I thought we were going to end up going down, well, it's all cheaply made fashion clothing that gets thrown away. Anyway, are you coming up? You want up? All right. Well, listen, Daddy's microphone's here, so the people are over here today. They're over here. Are we going to say hello? Hello there. I know. Sweetheart, I can't cuddle you just yet. You have to wait. So, listen, if you haven't already, by the way, I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I just filmed a load of videos when Woody and I went on an adventure to a waterfall in Wales. And Volkswagen lent us a California camper van. And we used it to see what it was like to go and explore some of the country with some of the kind of home comforts and warmth of a camper van. Staying as close as we can, and I tell you what, it was amazing. We foraged for food, we cooked food in the camper van, we ate underneath the awning thing and watched the sunset. We boiled tea. It was epic. So go check out, I think, all of the first series. Do not bite me. No. All of these people here are watching and they're disappointed in you. Not me, they're disappointed in you. Show everybody your face. Show them. No, stop moving my head. So go off and look. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, because that's really important for me. It means that you get to see all of the latest videos before anybody else, but also it helps other people find the videos and realize that there's this whole algorithm thing. So if you've got, if people don't like the channel or subscribe to the channel, then other people aren't going to find the videos as much. So listen, let me tell you real quick about Sofagate, right, before we go. So make sure you check out the Jez and Woody's California Adventure videos. There's 3 up now. There's another 3 coming out in the next week or so. I think you're going to really enjoy them. We had such a blast filming them. So I get a letter through the post. I bought a couple of sofas, one at the farm and then one when we moved here. And I got a letter saying the company that I bought the sofas from has gone into administration. They've gone into administration because the sofas have failed a fire safety test. Like monumentally failed, as in really bad. You can't sit in it for too long or you'll combust. And probably not that bad, but I figured that was the way around it. Maybe. So, what they say is you need to dispose of the sofa. You can't give it away. You can't give it to charity shop or anything. You have to dispose of it and ruin it so that no one can use it, and take off the tag that's illegally on there that says it's absolutely fine, because it's not. And then, of course, you have to buy a new sofa. But it means that you can claim for the cost of your sofa back. And I thought, well, okay, that's nice. Section 75 of the Consumer Credit Act 1974. Thanks very much. That's really nice that we can do that. But then I'm without any sofas. And what am I going to do? Where am I going to put 2 massive sofas? So now I'm in this kind of crazy position where we have to claim to try and get the money back from the sofa from the credit card company that I paid for it on. but that has to go through an administrator and an administration process. And now I've got to go and find 2 new sofas. So it's an inconvenience, but it's also, what do I do with these sofas? I'm wondering whether I just keep them. And because I don't smoke, and if this house ever caught fire, there's so much paper and wood in it that it would go up like a Roman candle anyway. So I'm not entirely sure. Maybe we should just set a little timer and only sit in one space for 20 minutes so it doesn't overheat, and then move to another space, and we'll just sort of use it like that. Are you getting a little bit annoying? Are you getting annoying? Yes, Daddy, I'm really annoying. Look at me, I'm a little teenager. Oh, really annoying. Oh, I love you too. Boop, thanks. So what do you think? In the chat, do I keep the sofas and know that they're a safety risk, and, providing there's no naked flames or anything near them, it's not like they're going to combust, it's just that they, are going to go up. But they're in a room where there's about 800 books, so, and a lot of wood in a wooden bookcase. So, I don't know, what do you think? Kath, I have no idea how they reached the point of sale, I guess. But you know what? Interestingly enough, I spoke to my dad about it, who used to be in the furniture industry, and he said that he had a very similar thing where they bought something from China, and they said, yeah, it's been fire tested, it's all fine. And Dad said, okay, we need to get it, just to be sure, we need to get it tested in this country. It went to the testing facility and failed everything, just went right straight up. Challenged the company in China. They said, no, it's definitely got a fire certificate. Here's the fire certificate. And Dad said, well, look, here's the certificate that says that it failed. And then they never heard from them ever again. So I don't know. I just think it probably, I think it just happens. I think some people are a bit corrupt and crooked, aren't they? They make things really, really cheap. So Donna says, keep them and claim the money back. I think that's what I'm going to do. Mark says, could you take them apart and use the frame and plant box in them and shape them to look like sofas? Mark, I got lauded for thinking about squirrels in sex outfits, and you come up with like the most random, where has that come from? It's a great idea, but also not box. Can we all start using you more than box, or Laurel or something? But the whole box thing is like that disease and the mold, and I'm done with it. But yes, we could do. Carol, good point, says it would invalidate your insurance. Pay the council to remove them. That's a good point. It probably would invalidate my insurance. Man. Kath saying keep them, guard them around candles. Stephen says, can you not get them treated for them to be less of a risk? Probably not a nice environmentally friendly way though. I don't think any of that stuff is. It's going to be a chemical that fire retardants, doesn't it? But it will also be to do with the foam, because my dad's in foam, and he said it's to do with the chemicals that you use for make the foam and how they make it. But anyway, so, well, love. There's a lot of love for Mark's idea about about creating a box sofa. So maybe I could, for outdoors out the back, in the garden area. That has given me a brilliant idea. Listen, whatever you are up to today, I sincerely hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me. It's so great to see so many of you here. And I know lots of you who are enjoying this, it seems weird me saying it now, who will be enjoying it after the event, because lots of you watch it afterwards on the different channels. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, a great weekend. Be kind to yourself, be kind to other people, and I will see you next week. And also with a little bit of news about what I'm going to do about this little special trip up to go and buy some more plants. That sounds like a really, really fun video. Maybe we could meet up. Maybe I could tell you when I'm going, and if you can get to Bath, we can go have a cup of tea, do a nice little plant chat live. Whatever you do, I'll see you then. Love, love. Bye-bye. Hey, happy Sunday. Nothing like a hot cup of tea